Famed pilot Jimmy Buffett passes away. He might have been known for singing a song or two. Plus, another gender reveal turns fatal. A new administrator is nominated to lead the FAA, and more aviation news on taking off. Hi, I'm Dan Milliken. This is the aviation news for the week. Got some sponsor links in the description below, plus more shout outs at the end. But I do want to tell you quickly about these great mounts for your iPads, phones, and cameras. They work great in the cockpit, but they got their start in the overland industry, so for your car. They're made in the US, not just foreign imported that will fall apart. Check out 67 Designs at 67D.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. When we hit 100,000, Christy says she's going to jump out of a plane. So, okay, on to the news. We're on the eve of the final Reno Air Races. The Reno Stead Airport has decided not to renew the Air Racing Association's event. Reno this year is the big goodbye. But a new air racing event has just been announced for Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Spaceport. And the new entry is not associated with the people from Reno. And it's not clear yet where the Reno Air Races will go. Hoping to get some clarity on what's next this week at the last Reno Air Races. All right, iconic Americana beach chillin' musician icon Jimmy Buffett passed away last week. And some of you may know, maybe not, that Jimmy was a pilot. He started when he was in college when a friend introduced him to flight. Money was tight, so Jimmy only dreamed. And when the music scene started happening for him, he went amphib and got his private certificate with single engine land and sea right before his 40th birthday. And he didn't stop there, eventually completing his commercial pilot rating for multi-engine land and sea, his instrument rating, and type ratings in various Citations and Falcons, and his beloved Grumman Albatross. In 1994, Jimmy hit a swell on takeoff in Nantucket and lost control, the aircraft nosing over and sinking. Because Jimmy had earlier gotten to ride in a Navy F-14 Tomcat, he had had to go through water survival egress training and made it out of the sinking plane okay. 2 years later, near Jamaica, Buffett encountered the famous story of being shot at by the authorities who thought he was running drugs. The song Jamaica Mistaka was the result. And if you ever fly the departure SID out of Palm Beach, you might be instructed to fly the Buffett 1 departure. Waypoints include Jimmy, Buffett, Fins, and Utley, Jimmy's longtime keyboard player. Blue skies, Jimmy. Thanks for the music, and thanks for spreading the love of aviation. Most of you have probably seen the tragic video of the Piper Pawnee airplane suffering a catastrophic structural failure while performing a gender reveal maneuver in Sinaloa, Mexico. For those that haven't, the Pawnee is a light agricultural plane with a big fluid tank that can be dumped. In this particular case, the plane was filled with pink-dyed water. And upon releasing the water, the pilot pulled back on the yoke and the left wing failed, causing the plane to lose control and impact the ground. The pilot was killed. Non-pilot friends have been asking me what happened. Well, we don't know for sure. Some say the heavy wing loading from the maneuver, which includes both the sudden weight drop and the G-forces on the pull-up. Others believe the plane was operated within its G-force maximums, but it was faulty maintenance. The Pawnee has had a wing attachment airworthiness directive put out by the FAA in 1995 that requires a lot of inspections or replacement of the fittings. Some Pawnee pilots say the pitch up was possibly only 2 Gs of loading the wing, so far short of the 4.4 and 6.6, depending on the configuration, failure limits. So whether the wing failure was due to overloading the wing or a failure of maintenance, we just don't know. And hopefully the Mexican authorities will determine the cause. What I take away as a pilot is that pushing the mechanical boundaries of an airplane is a risky endeavor. There are safer ways to do cool gender reveals, and I encourage pilots to say no when friends ask for something like this. There are just too many videos out there of gender reveal airplane fails and people are dying. In the US, this flight would have broken several regulations, rules that were created in blood. Bottom line, stay within the regulations, fly within the POH guidelines, and live to see the baby born. Okay, moving to FAA news. The White House has their latest nomination to head the FAA by putting forth Michael Whitaker for the administrator position. This is the replacement for last year's nominee Philip Washington, who ran into opposition over his lack of aviation experience. His nomination was clouded by the viral videos of the congressman grilling him on basic airman knowledge that Washington simply did not have. The FAA has lacked an administrator since Steve Dixon resigned early last year. And for interim leadership, the FAA has already gone through 3 acting administrators since that time. New nominee Whitaker was an attorney for TWA and also worked in leadership at United for 15 years. And during Obama's term, Whitaker was the deputy FAA administrator 2013 to 2016. Whitaker does hold a private pilot certificate and seems to be much more qualified than Washington. What do you think? Good choice to lead the FAA? Let us know in those comments below. A disturbing event happened at an airport recently in central Oklahoma. 5 airplanes were reported to have had their avionics stripped out overnight. And the thief knew exactly what they were doing and removed only what was needed. The items included 2 Garmin GTN 650s. Locked airplane doors didn't matter as several planes were pried open. And if you have your plane parked at a small airport out in the open, make sure the area is well lit, and having a security camera might be a good idea. I know when I travel in Lola, my 210, I'm concerned as I remember an airport in Texas that I had parked at had a similar happening a few weeks after I was there. Maybe renting a hangar has its value. Also, it's a reminder to have good insurance. And yes, here's a shameless plug for my insurance guy, Jerry, at clemensinsurance.net. I know I'm covered for stuff like this. Hopefully you are too. If not, check him out. All right, let's end on a feel-good. EAA Young Eagles is a program to fly kids free of charge, and many pilots today can point back to their Young Eagle flight as their inspiration for a career in aviation. Well, one man has crossed the 10,000 flights mark, volunteered Fred Stadler out of the Oshkosh area. He started in 2000 and passed the milestone last week, 23 years. According to EAA, 50,000 volunteer pilots have flown over 2.3 million young people. Hats off to Fred. Well done. All right, that's it for the aviation news for the week. Don't forget, if you're at the Reno Air Races, stop and say hi. And don't forget about the rest of our sponsors like Flying Eyes, where using our discount code Taking Off, all caps, one word, will get you 10% off. Marshall Protective Services, personal security elevated at mpsprotects.com. Z-Vision, the brightest landing and taxi lights out there. And Colton Mortgage for your residential and refi mortgage needs, coltontakingoff.com. That's it. Please do subscribe and share, and check out this great report Christy did on the John Denver crash as we come up on the anniversary of his death. Remember, superior judgment trumps superior skills. We'll see you next time. Take care.